Hello, everyone. So we had done the first practical chi-square test from data preparation to analysis to interpretation and to reporting. Looked at those four aspects of the chi-square test. So we're moving on now to t-tests. T-test over here. We are going to look at the preparation of data, the analysis, the interpretation, and the reporting of t-tests. So I'm going to use the data as I was given. So you'll appreciate the data preparation aspect of it. So it was given in Excel. First, let me show you the result and the objective. So look at this. It was to find the difference between the HP level, PT and APTT in what smokers and non-smokers, right, or controls. So you can see that these smokers and non-smokers are working a variable. They are your independent variable, whereas your HB, PT, APTT, and age, they are your what? Dependent variable because they are the what? Responding to the change. So the smokers and non-smokers, you want to know if smoking, right, can change what? The hematological parameter. So that's why the smoking status becomes what? Independent variable, and HP and the rest become what? Your dependent variable. So now your age was collected as a continuous variable, same with HBPT and APTT, and your smokers and controls is what? A categorical variable. So if we are to go back to our table, you have independent variable as categorical, and then you have your dependent variable as continuous. What statistical test are we to use? Statistical tests, independent, categorical, dependent, continuous, it's ANOVA or t-test. Now, just because we have just two groups, controls and smokers, we will use t-test. If we had up to three groups, as you would see in the next video, we would use analysis of variant. So let's go on to the data. So this is, like I said, I'm going to copy the data just like I've received it. This is for light smokers. The way the student sent the work was that she categorized the smokers into three: light, moderate, and heavy, right? Then so that's three separate Excel sheets and one extra Excel sheet for controls. So I'm just putting all these things to you so that you understand how to tackle the problem, right? So usually I like to have, let me use this as my working sheet, this light smokers as my working sheet. So I need age, I just need age, I don't need gender for this. So I'm going to copy age, right? This is smokers, this is a smoker. It doesn't matter if it's light or heavy. So I am going to call this, now I'm going to copy moderate smoker since she separated them, but I just need, I'm doing chi-square for smokers and non-smokers, irrespective of the kind of smoker that you are, you fall under the category of what? Smokers. So let me copy, I'm not going to share the screen, I'm just going to copy data for moderate, and I'm going to paste it there for you to see. It's almost the same thing, same process, so there is no technicality involved. So I am back to light smokers where we are. I'm going to paste it here. Then I'm going back to copy heavy smokers. That is just how the student categorize the data. Heavy smokers, they're comparatively fewer. So I'm back to light smokers. So you can see that there are about 60. There are 60 smokers, right? You see it's 61 because the first row is for the title. So we are going to group them. We are going to call these groups. So all these smokers will be group 1. So usually I can see this in spaces, but let me just do it in Excel. So all these smokers will be group 1. Now she has a separate Excel sheet for non-smokers. So I'm going right away to copy them. Going right away to copy the control, the ones that are not smoking. They are equally 60. So I have copied the controls. I'm coming back to where all of us were, and I'm going to paste it right away. Sorry. Okay, there's a little issue here. This controls doesn't have a particular set of variables. So let me just put it aside here first. So these are some of the things I do experience. What I'm going to do, because I don't need this period, so I'm going to delete this row entirely. I just clicked on the top, I left click on the top, then I right click. This option came, I delete, and I'm deleting the entire row. So now I am coming back. I'm pretty sure that you can see what I'm doing. Just for me to confirm, yeah, we're on the same page. So I'm going to copy these controls. Yeah, remember I brought them from a separate Excel sheet. I'm doing it exactly as the students gave to me so that you will appreciate it. All right, so pest, you can see it now. So we call all these non-smokers 2, right? Aha. So we call all of them what? 2. So we can now go to spaces. You know, I taught you in the other video that you can import directly to spaces, but I don't like importing. I just feel copy and paste is faster. You know, people may have different opinions about that. So I'm going to copy this data right about now. I would take us to spaces and I'm going to paste these in spaces. Just minutes, please. Just trying to navigate to my spaces. So you know, if you want to import spaces, you can use the file. Sorry, I'm having a little challenge with the spaces. But if you want to import to spaces, you can use the file and you will see the options for importing. I am sure you can. Right, sorry for that glitch. So I'm going to paste what I copied from Excel, just Ctrl V, which you know, down to my spaces. Remember, I said you can, you know, always import. You go to File, you can go to Open, then you select the type of file Excel. Now, I didn't copy with the titles. So you've noticed that spaces is not showing me the titles like it did the other time. Because I know that the first the first column is age, the second is HP, the third is PT, and the last is APTT. So I am going to just go to my variable view and rename them or retitle them. So this is data view. You click on variable view down here. Then you come to name, you change it to age. Remember, second one, what is it? HB. Third one, what is it? Third one is PT. Fourth one, what is it? APTT. Fifth one, what is it? It's the groups, right? Now you have to define the groups because you are coding them. One is for, you come here where you have values. One, remember we use one for smokers, right? So you add smokers. We use two for what? Controls, or should we call them non-smokers? Let's call them controls. Anyone you want to use is fine. So you click on OK. Now to confirm that that has been effected, when you come back, yes, you click on this icon that has 1 and A. You would see that the numbers will change to letters, to alphabets. So another thing I want you to observe is that because all these are numerical variables, they are automatically set to numeric data. They are all numbers and they have been set to scale. Have been set to continuous data. So this is how you prepare your data. At this stage, the data is ready for what? And for so you come to analyze, descriptive, statistics, sorry, not descriptive. You come to analyze, compare means, you know, there are four types of t-test here, but independent sample t-test is the most common. We have videos for other types, so we explain how to do other types of t-tests and when to use them. But for this tutorial, for this lesson, for this lecture, we'll be using the independent sample t-test. So you click on independent sample t-test. Now, your test variables, they're things that you're comparing, right? You put them there, then your groups, you click on it and put it here. They define groups just to tell you your group 1, what is your group 1? Your group 1 is actually 1. Your group 2 is 2. Now, there are cases where you might have coded your group 1 as 0 and your group 2 1. So when you come to this group 1, you need to put 0 here, right? If that was what you used. Then when you come to your group 2, you need to put what? 1 if that's what you use. So what it's telling you that put whatever you use in what coding your groups. I coincidentally use what 1 and 2. So that is it. So you click continue. Nothing here. It's a 95% interval. You can change it to 99 depending on what you're working with, depending on what is your alpha value. So you click on OK. It's going to display the outputs. Okay, so this is how your output looks like. Now, what t-test basically does is there are two tables here. This first table is comparing the mean and standard deviation and standard error of mean of the groups, right? Is look at the mean age of the smokers and mean age of the non-smokers. So already you can see the mean age of the smokers is high, right? Already you can see the mean HP level of smokers is higher. Mean PT level of smokers is what? Lower, right? Mean APTT of smokers is what? Lower. So usually you will need to report mean and standard deviation. So we've already talked about what mean and standard deviation mean. We'll not be doing that in this video. Now you can already see the association. You can already see the difference, right? So the next question is it significant? All right, so this is a second table in your output. Just trying to be sure that you are in my output. Just a second. Okay. So the first thing you see is Levin tests of what? For what? The quality of what? Variances, right? Is checking if the variance of group A and group B, that are smokers and non-smokers, is equal, right? This one you see t-test for equality of mean, so we are coming there. Let's first finish with what Levin's test for equality of variance. Now this F is the Levin test value, just like you have your chi-square value, your t-test value. Now this is the significance of your Levin test value. So this is what you concentrate on. Now you just have to be very, very attentive here. if Levin's test for equality of variance is not significant, that is, if it is higher than 0.05, you do what? You take the first rule, you say that equal variance is assumed. I'll take it again. If this significance is higher than 0.05, if the significance here, because you can see there are two test values, there are two t-test values. We have one for equal variance assumed. We have one for equal variance not assumed. Look at them here. And then there are two significance. It's just that this one, all of them are both equal variance assumed and equal variance not assumed are similar. That is why you may not really appreciate it. But there are cases where the value, the t-test value and the significance level for equal variance assumed, it's not the same with equal variance not assumed. So this is just a way of telling you which to go for at a particular time. So the thing about this equal variance assumed and equal variance not assumed, they are just two ways of calculating the t-test, right? The first one is, should the variances of the two groups be the same, right? This is our t-test value and this is significance level. If the value of the t-test on the other hand are not similar, this is what we should get, right? So if Levin's test for equality of variance is above 0.05, you take the first rule. That means you say, oh, you agree that equal variance is assumed. But if it is not, you do what? If it is lower than 0.05, like in this case for PT, you say, okay, no, that means equal variance is not assumed. And you pick the second significance level and t-test value. So that is it. Now you have mean difference and the error of mean. This is just the difference between the mean. This is the standard deviation of the mean difference, confidence interval. All these things you've done it in your basic statistics, in our previous basic statistics classes or videos. So what you really need here is this t-test value and this significance. Those are the two things that you need. So you can copy the table. I've told you how to copy the table. You click on copy. Then when you take it to Microsoft Word, okay, let me just, I hold Control. I copy the first table. I click on the second table. I'm highlighting both tables, so I'm copying it now. Yeah, so I'm going to my Microsoft Word. I'm going to share it in a second. Just a second, share right away now, right about now. So remember, okay, we have not even interpreted it. Let's just interpret our t-test value. So you can see that the value of what the t-test, what this output is telling us that is that the p-value is what? Less than 0.05. Not the Levin's test for equality of variance. Please don't confuse it. This value is the main thing that will determine the association. Whereas this Levin's test just tells us which of the t-test values should we use. Is it one for equal variance assumed or equal variance is not assumed? Whereas the one that will tell you if the association between the smokers and non-smokers is significant or not is the t-test for equality of means. So now you've looked at the association between the two means, but the question is it significant? Yes, you can see all of them are what? Significant. It's telling you that there's a significant difference. That's, you have seen that smokers have a lower APTT level than controls. The question is it significant or is it due to chance? It is significant. That means that smoking can actually reduce somebody's what? APTT. So this is it. Because p-value is less than 0.05, we say what? That it is what? Significant. And we do what? What happens to the hypothesis? We reject the null hypothesis and accept a what? Alternate what? Hypothesis. So you can always go back to our slides if you need some of these basics. So let's go on to interpret and reporting. So I'm going to paste it right about now. I'm pasting the table right now. Just a minute. All right, so once you copy your table to Microsoft, remember you can delete as you want. You can delete the ones you don't want. You can delete the degree of freedom. You can manipulate it. I have already showed you how to edit tables. So you can highlight it. First, you change the style. I will not be repeating that. Just delete, change the text color. You know how to do that. You just need basic MS Word knowledge and skills. So this is your table of means. Now, usually, this is how I like presenting my data in t-test. Now, it varies between institutions, between courses, between fields, between journals, it varies. So you kind of have to check what your school, your institution, the journal you're submitting to wants. So I like to put the parameters here. I like to put the two groups as what rules, right? As rules here. Smokers, I put the total number of participants, control total number of participants. Then this first value that I'm highlighting, I'm going to put it in red. This is the mean, right? Whereas the second one is the what? Standard deviation. So I do the same thing for HB, for PT, for APTT, right? Then I do it for controls too. Then I get the calculated T from what? From this table, right? I get the calculated T for each, for HB, for PT, and APTT from this other table. Then I put my significance value. This one just happened to be all significant, right? So remark you have to put all significant. If it wasn't significant, it would report like that. So let's look at the way I'm reporting. I said table 4.1 shows the mean age, HP level, prothrombin time, and activated thromboplastin time of smokers and non-smokers recruited into the study, right? The difference in mean values of age, HPPT, and APT in the smokers, I am putting their mean and standard deviation values respectively. Or significantly different, I'm putting the alpha value, because it's significantly different from the control values. So I'm also putting the what the mean of the controls. Now usually some people would love to put where you see significant difference, they love to put not the alpha value, they like to put the p value that they obtained. So I do that sometimes. So that is it basically. So that is it basically. If you have any question, you can always reach out to me. I really hope this video is helpful. Thank you very much.